One is we need to do more on the border. And I'm glad in that context we've had the exchange of visits by the top leadership. So we've had a visit by, the meeting which has happened between Mr. Doval and his counterpart Wang Yi as special representatives on the border. And then we've also had a meeting between Rajnath Singh and his counterpart as part of the defense ministers on the sidelines of the SCO. And now we have this visit by the External Affairs Minister. Later this month, we also have a return visit by Wang Yi as a special representative on the border talks. So these high level exchanges obviously are going to help in towards normalization. What are the issues there? Now, first issue from the Chinese side is opening up the visa situation so that the Chinese businessmen and others can come and go as before. They also want resumption of flights for that obvious reason because their businesses can then travel quite easily. India was waiting to see if there was substantial progress on issues like the border, where movement seems to be happening, but yet to see more concrete steps on the ground. And this is what Mr. Rajnath Singh had hinted when he said on the sidelines after the meeting that he had with his counterpart in SCO that we need to now start looking at marking the boundary because that will be a permanent solution to this problem. Let's go back a little bit into the background. So, till 2006, the Chinese and the Indian side were talking about how the boundary has to be demarcated. After that, we've had a series of confidence building measures, MOUs, leading up to 2013 on how to maintain peace and tranquility on the border. Then we saw a little bit of lull in that situation till we had those border incidents leading up to Galwan in 2020. So I think the time has come now to look back and see where the pieces can be picked up. But it requires a lot of trust and confidence building on both sides. Frankly, I don't expect too much of a change in the Chinese stance because I think here it is a question of support for its ironclad ally, as we call them, Pakistan, as far as the Chinese are concerned. So it's not a question of acting, against terrorism or not, but it's a question of supporting a steadfast ally in this case. We saw this happening unfold before us in the United Nations also, where the Chinese put a technical hold on many of these wanted terrorists, despite the fact that countries like the United States had listed them and said that they must be indicted. But despite that, we saw many years before the Chinese relented. So obviously, this is born out of support for Pakistan. And of course, the relationship has between China and Pakistan has turned into one of mutual, gratification and support, if I may call it that. More gratification for the Chinese, less for the Pakistanis, but yet at the same time, that is the way the state of affairs is. So let's be realistic about it. I think the whole question of terrorism is something that the Chinese are willing to sacrifice at the expense of the maintaining that kind of a relationship with Pakistan. I don't think we should waste too much of sleep over it. But we should continue to raise this subject and, in the United Nations and other fora, wherever it is possible. For example, at the BRICS declaration, there was a very strong paragraph on terrorism this time, where the Chinese delegation was also present. So I think, in all these fora where we should continue to raise it. We should talk about the International Convention on Terrorism and do what we can to counter cross-border terrorism from Pakistan.